So imagine, you wake up tomorrow morning, have a look in your bank account, and you notice there's an extra £1,000 in there. How would you feel? And more importantly, what would you do with that money? Would you pay off some debt that you've got? Would you go on a spending spree? Would you take your significant other away for a quick holiday? Now imagine at the end of the day, you've spent all that money, you felt good about your wise decisions, and then you wake up the next day, look in your bank account again just to double check, and you realise there's another £1,000 there. What would you be thinking then? How would you be spending that money then? Because this is a situation where many of us who are in this lockdown are finding. Not with money, of course. If you gave me £1,000, I'd be very happy right now. But we're finding ourselves in this situation with time. At the moment, in self-isolation, many of us are at home, unable to go about our normal daily routines, our normal daily rhythms, get out and about, and complete our normal busy lives. Many of us aren't allowed into work or are able to work remotely. And we find ourselves actually, when I wake up, there's a good 16, 17 hours ahead of me, which works out to be just about 1,000 minutes. So how are you using them? How are you choosing to use this time that you've been given at the moment? Now, I'm not saying that this is a good time and this is a great thing, but what I'm saying is if you'd asked someone a few weeks ago, can you give me a few spare days? I can imagine most of you would have bitten their hand off to say yes. So how are we using this time right now? And James 4 gives us some ideas of what we could be doing. And now I have a word for you who brashly announce today, or at the latest tomorrow, we're off to such and such a city for the year. We're going to start a business and make a lot of money. You don't know the first thing about tomorrow. You're nothing but a wisp of fog catching a brief bit of sun before disappearing. Instead, make it a habit to say, if the Master wills it, and we're still alive, we'll do this or that. Every time that you wake up, every day that you wake up, is a gift from God of time for you to be using. In this different season, in this different rhythm of life, how are you stewarding the time that God has given you? And especially with this free time, with less routine, less structure, how are you using it to steward and to choose the right thing? The chapter finishes off. As it is, you are full of your grandiose selves, and such vaunting self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know the right thing to do and don't do it, that for you is evil. At the moment, how are you choosing to discipline yourself in what God has asked you to do with your time? Are you listening to what He's asking you to do with your time? Are you spending time with Him to actually be able to hear what He's asking you to do? So right now, have a think about what you're going to do for the rest of your day. How are you going to spend these 1,000 minutes? And I hope and pray that God is at the top of that list for you. Thank you and God bless.